Alright. Hello. So, apparently, DE didn't like the way that my guide was for how to do focus grinding quickly in Exterminate missions, because you could have a lot of big groups of enemies spawn at the end. And consequently, they totally broke Exterminate missions as being fun, or in any way challenging, because enemies can't spawn in groups bigger than like 5 or 7 now. 7 is the largest group I've seen spawn, and will make you backtrack through the level constantly. So, they ruined Exterminate as a game type to stop the focus farming thing, so that was a great decision. But let's get into the new focus farm, because there's always going to be one, no matter what they do. No matter what they do, there will always be one. And this is solo. Obviously, if you're in a group, you just want to be the damage dealer on Draco. Yeah, let's go to the new one. Obviously, solo. Solo. Sarah's again, and used to be, or well, no, the one that I showed, it was Sedna. I believe it was, I think it was a Daro. Yeah, that's that, yeah. I showed a Daro, because my weapons do significantly more damage. I usually would come to Vedic, because like Lex Prime with 4 minute and such does a lot more damage. I get slightly more affinity here. But let's just move down one. This is Spy. This doesn't have fucked up spawnings, and is really easy still. And you get bonuses of getting some spy mods also in there as well. So this is the way to do it now. Basically, it's slower. It's a little slower. But the theory is the same. The method is the same in a lot of cases. Part of the benefit here is that this is a large map. I'm just going to pop some energy real quick here. Usually spies are pretty large maps, so you have a lot of rooms to go between. And I've noticed, it seems, that special units spawn more frequently on spy missions. Although that could just be me like noticing something that actually isn't like that much higher. But it 100% seems like heavy units spawn more frequently on these types of missions. So, and this does require a lot more of you, like Scorch. Immediately there's a Scorch. Scorch is a special unit. I actually want to skip him. So they also changed detection. So if an enemy sees you kill another enemy, it will kill your stealth kill, like bonus. And also, if they have not existed for more than 5 seconds, it will kill your stealth kill bonus. So there is a lot more methodical shooting to this now. But with some properly spaced enemies, you can still totally do this. And you will kind of have to like checkerboard around enemies that are alerted and not, and stuff like that. And I'll show that off, I'm sure, a little bit, because it's pretty much inevitable to happen. So enemies like this are actually not alerted. And in groups like this, they will become alerted, so you want to kill the Scorch for the most affinity, so that more special units can spawn, basically. And those enemies were really close. So they're up against cover, which means they may or may not. You're gonna have to kind of get a feel for if they're alerted or not. Be alerted. Like, let's see here. Bang. This guy's alerted. You can tell by his stance. This guy didn't see it, so he's not alerted. None of these guys are alerted. But if I shoot that guy, those two are alerted. This guy was far enough away, so I can shoot him. And basically, this is practice in knowing, because they keep instigating these like really stupid rules to try and restrict us. So basically you just have to know the rules and then just play around them. So yeah, those are the rules. Those two are alerted now, don't bother. So basically you're just picking out the unit with the highest affinity, and you're killing them. Like that guy, for example, that Leech Eximus. He has a high affinity rating. I'm just gonna get that sick 2200 out of him real quick. Like, you will have to get good at doing these spies very quickly, because there's not always gonna be enemies like that there. Is this gonna turn on? No, they're not here. Okay, good. There's not always going to be enemies, but it is nice whenever you get ones where there are, so you can keep your multiplier like very easily.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms.
Okay, go back up. And there is a timer on these guys being alerted. Should be up now. That guy didn't see. You can tell because he didn't turn around and look. Blast him too. She might have seen. It's harder to tell on Scorpion, so I usually skip them if I'm unsure. These guys are unalerted. Blam. This guy didn't see it. Blam. But yeah, you still get a lot of affinity from this. And once you get a feel for who has seen and who has not seen, this is still pretty quick. And you're gonna kind of like just progress through the level as you like regularly would, while popping the guys that you know haven't seen yet, while keeping an eye out for special units to specifically target. Troopers are worth slightly more than regular Grineer. These guys did not see, however. That was a pretty good line. They were spaced pretty perfectly for me to be doing that. Ballista are worth a bunch. Regular Grineer, still fine. The ones you want to avoid the most are Butchers, because they are worth the least amount of affinity, being the like, well, no. I think Rollers might be lower than them even also. Basically, yeah, Rollers and Butchers, though, are the lowest on the totem pole, I think. Could be slightly mistaken in that. But yeah, this is like generally the method. And you can do these runs obviously way faster. Talking makes these significantly slower, as you might imagine. Might be enemies in this one, might not. And the other nice thing about this, though, and not necessarily a nice thing, enemies will keep spawning like constantly. So if you like lose your multiplier, it's not a big deal because there's unlimited enemies in this mission. So you can just go after, like, if you don't want to keep getting like the spy vaults and stuff, and you just want to like go around the map, just getting your multiplier up, you can just do that. Like, just grab all the vaults and then just run around. That's what I did earlier today. I spent maybe 20 minutes just rolling around, blasting all the special units. Actually, for this, I want to hit this guy first, get to 400, get to 500 with him. And then I like spent like 20 minutes before work just getting to the cap, just doing that after I had grabbed all the vaults. And that's totally doable. Basically, all they did, not that one, she's alerted. All they did is slow this down just a little bit, and you have to be a little more meticulous about it, which in the end, it like amounts to like basically nothing. Yeah. Granted, I am on double affinity, so that would take other people like 40 minutes, which is still like significantly faster than the regular rate of affinity gain, which is, by the way, still has not been fixed for group gain. So support frames, I apologize. I'm very sorry they have not fixed that for you yet, and that they nerfed the solo way to get it at the same time, or beforehand, even worse. Yeah, this is definitely best done with an enemy radar. I'm using Animal Instinct on Carrier. You can stack on even more enemy radar to make this even easier. In fact, that's probably what I would suggest. Animal Instinct has worked out very well for me. Worth noting, I did get kind of a bad map. Not the spy vaults, obviously, but just a bad outside map. Oh, and if you have your lens in your frame, you're also getting a bit of focus from the vaults, I believe. Re-up this. Oh, that one was alerted from earlier. Still alerted. Wonderful. from earlier. That's a heavy unit, so she's gonna kill herself, so I'll just kill her now. Yeah, basically you just want to chain it normally, which is a pain. And it's significantly more boring than it was before, because obvious reasons. Basically, it's just slowed down. I'm just gonna head to the exit so you can see how much focus I would get just from kind of just doing like a pretty basic run. But like I said, you can just stay until you're happy with the amount of focus that you got, and then kind of just go to the exit and cash out. Not bad. 8 and 6K. My Avara is using a greater lens, so she got a tad more. But yeah, that was a bad map also for that. You want some of the more hallway-like environments, so you can kind of watch enemies Scooby-Doo themselves out of doors and just blast them after you know their timers are up. But yeah, that is the slightly slower now solo way to do it. Also, if you don't like that tile set, on Sarah's, I believe there's also I think there's an in-ship one. Could be wrong. Yeah, Lex. Lex is also good. If you prefer the Galleon over the Sarah's, like, on planet, I think, tile set, the shipyards, I think it's called, then the Galleon, obviously, is probably going to be one that most players are going to be more familiar with since it's from the earlier parts of the game. So I'd probably suggest that. I think there might be more hallways in the shipyards that I like, but if you like the Galleon, totally go there instead. But yeah. That is the new solo way that I've found to quickly get focus. Like I said earlier, I took like about between like 20 and 30 minutes and just did my entire cap. But yeah, that's the new way to farm focus. Hopefully they don't patch Spy to be shitty and unfun to try and fix gaining focus, which is capped anyway, so I don't know why they did that. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow.